Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about use and manipulation of variables on Microsoft SQL Server. My name is Wally. I am a SQL Server DBA with over 25 years of experience in Microsoft SQL Server and other types of RDBMS. You may contact me in one or more ways as shown below. I'm also the founder of Data Group of PBSoft since 2013. Instructor, writer, and IT consultant since the late 90s with a growing customer base. Now, let's go see the process. Normally, SQL variables are used for storing intermediate results like calculation or text, enhancing the complexity of stored procedures with input parameters, or simplify repetitive tasks by using a variable multiple times. You will now see some generic examples on how to manipulate variables and its types. Here you will see some basic usage of variables. We're going to see how to declare a variable, and what we do is use the statement declare followed by the variable name. Now, variables must have an @ sign in the beginning, and they have to have a data type. In this case, I'm using varchar20 for my first variable, which I'm going to call addValue1, and right there I'm declaring a second variable. It's called addValue2, which is a type int. Now, int is numeric and varchar is text, and it's text, but you can put numerical values if you need to. Now, right below that, I'm using the set keyword, and that keyword basically tells that the first variable is going to have one value, and the value for the addValue1 is going to be this is a test. Now, the second variable called addValue2 is going to have another value, which is 1. The reason for that is because it's an integer. Now, if you look at the value from addValue1, I'm using single quotes because it's a varchar, and addValue2 is not using single quotes because it's a numeric value. So in numeric values, you don't have to use single quotes. I could store a number 1 on addValue1, but I will need to use the single quotes. Now, right after that, because this is going to be in memory, right after that, I can print those values. Okay? I'm going to execute this, and you will see the result on the screen. As you can see on my screen, it basically printed the value from addValue1, which is this is a test, and the value from addValue2, which is 1. This works pretty fine, but I'll make it a little bit more complicated for you in a second. Now, the way I'm going to make it more complicated for you is by creating an error. And I'm going to create the error on purpose. I still have the same variables with the same values. I just put a comment on the print addValue1 and addValue2, and I'm going to do some concatenation. Now, this here should return an error, and we'll see that just now. Okay, the reason we get this error is because one variable is a varchar and the other one is a type int. Now, you cannot just concatenate variables of different data types. You need to do a conversion for that, or you will get an error message like this one. I'm going to show you how to fix this error. As I just mentioned, in order to fix the error, you have to do some conversion. If you look at this line 17 right here, I'm doing exactly or almost the same as the previous line on line 14, except that I'm using the convert option. And in this case, I'm doing a convert to a varchar type for addValue2, which is an integer type. So if I run this, now it's going to work. So in this way, I can have two variables of different types printing together at the same time. I'm putting a colon here, but the colon is optional if you want to. You can put all the symbols or characters. You can put an equal sign because this is just basically text between variables. If I put an equal sign and I run the script, it should come out as well. I can fix it a little bit if I wanted to. And there it is. Now we're going to see how to run a select statement from within a variable. Same as before, we use a declare statement and we create this variable that's called at myexp1, and the type is going to be barcar max. Then we assign it a value using the set keyword, the name of the variable, and an equal sign. Now in this case I'm going to use a select statement, and this select statement will bring me back all of my system databases. Okay. Now in order to execute that, I use the exec keyword followed by parentheses, and between the parentheses I'm going to have the name of the variable. Let's run this, and there they are, my 4 system databases. I got master, 10DB, model, and MSDB. Keep in mind that you can put any other query that you wish to put in here, and you can execute it and it will bring you back the results. Doesn't have to be specifically this one, but for training purposes this is good enough. Now we're going to see how to run a select statement from a temp table. We're going to proceed to drop and create the temp table, and I'm going to explain it to you a little bit. Okay, as you can see, this is a local temp table, and it's mainly composed of 2 columns. First column is ID, which is an int, and identity. The second column is called query, and it's a barcar max type of column. Now we need to insert some values into this table. We're going to insert the values into the query column, which is this one here. Okay, we're going to insert 4 queries in that order. Each query is going to generate an ID in the ID column. Okay, first one to be inserted is going to generate ID1, second ID2, ID3, and ID4. Okay, let's do an insert. Don't worry about this. This is all common. It's not going to affect the insert. And as you can see, I got 4 rows affected. Now, similar to what we did before, we declare a variable. We're going to call it @SQL. It's going to be a barcar max type. Now, we're going to do a select, and we're going to say the @SQL equals the query column from query holder table. But we're going to use a where clause, and we're going to call the query that has ID 4. Now, so you can follow with me what I'm doing here. I'm going to show you the contents of the query holder table really quick. As you can see, I have the select statements that I just inserted right here. Okay, so ID number 4, which is the one I'm going to call here, it's select get date as current date. Okay, so if I run this here, this is supposed to show me the current date because that's what's on ID 4. If I run it, there it is. If I run the same query with the variables and I say, okay, I'm going to use ID 1, so I just have to change this to ID 1, it's going to bring me the database ID 2 from the system databases. So let's see what that looks like, and that brings me to 10DB. If I say I want to bring whatever's on ID 2, just have to change this manually, and when I run it, I get all of my system databases. Again, these are the contents of the temp table, and I execute the queries based on that order. We're going to do the same example. The only difference is that we're going to use a physical table. Now, this physical table is located on a database. It's called db_demo. It's not a temp table. So I'm going to proceed to do the same process. So I think I have it physically existing. Yeah, I think I do. Let me double check. Oh yeah, there it is. Oh, that's okay. We're just going to delete it. No complaints there. Now, the structure of the table is exactly the same. There's an ID column, which is in type, and it's also an identity. It has a column called query, and it's a barcar max type. I'm going to insert the same values 4 select statements. They're going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to proceed to declare my variable. I'm going to call it add SQL. It's going to be a varchar max. Just as before, I'm going to use select. I'm going to say select whatever is on that add SQL variable, and I'm going to assign it that is going to query the query column from this database and this table where ID equals 4. So it's going to run this select statement here. And using the keyword exec followed by the variable name within parentheses, I'm going to get my result. And there it is. If I change this to another number like 1, same thing happens. I get the 10 dB. If I get the ID 2, I also get the list of my system databases. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment or contact me by email. If you like this video and you find it interesting, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching.